The first time they heard it, the sound was so faint that Anna thought it might just be the wind. But when it came again, urgent, trembling, impossibly small, the whole family froze. It was a desperate whimpering, echoing from somewhere beneath the porch. That evening, the Thatchers had settled in to watch a movie together. Josh, the 10-year-old, was under a blanket on the couch. His little sister, Lucy, was curled up in Anna's lap. Their husband and father, Mark, sat in his recliner with a bowl of popcorn. But that strange, plaintive sound pulled them all from the living room. "Do you hear that?" Lucy asked, her wide eyes fixed on the front door. They stepped outside into the chill autumn air. The porch light cast elongated shadows across the wooden steps. "Probably just a stray cat," Mark said. But he knelt, peering into the darkness beneath the porch. Anna crouched beside him. "Shh," she whispered, as though the kittens might be frightened by noise. And then they saw them. A litter of 4 tiny, wide-eyed kittens huddled together on a thin scrap of cardboard, their bellies sunken, their fur matted. 2 were tabby, 1 a smoky gray, and the last, so small she fit in Mark's palm, was pure white. Lucy gasped. "They're so little." Josh's face fell. "What if their mother doesn't come back?" Anna touched the tiniest kitten's head. It shivered so violently that her heart lurched. "We can't just leave them here?" Mark nodded. "Tomorrow I'll rig up some walls under the porch to keep them dry and safe. But for now, let's bring them inside." Back in the kitchen, Anna and Lucy worked together to fashion a makeshift bed. A shallow cardboard box lined with soft towels, a hot water bottle wrapped in a towel for warmth, and a low bowl of water. Mark brewed coffee in a pot and set out bowls. Josh gently lifted each kitten in turn, hands trembling, and carried them inside. That night, the Thatchers took turns watching over the tiny family. They discovered that the kittens were so young they couldn't eat solid food, only kitten formula. Anna ordered supplies online and, in the meantime, mashed the last of Josh's cereal with warm milk into a thin gruel. Every hour she fed them with an old medicine syringe, wiping their faces afterward with damp cloths. Feeding them was a round-the-clock job. Mark on graveyard shift, Anna through the early morning, Lucy and Josh helping on weekends. They named the kittens Hazel, Stripe, Smokey, and Snowflake. Hazel, the white one, was the smallest and weakest. She struggled to latch on, her belly still flat under the thin skin. At 3 a.m, Anna sat on the couch feeding Hazel when her eyes stung with tears. Hazel's breathing was so fragile that she kept drifting off mid-suck. Anna whispered encouragements, petting her gently, murmuring, "You can do it, sweetheart." Slowly, Hazel's chest began to rise more confidently. By dawn, the kittens had all eaten, stumbled around the box, and curled up sleepily. Mark came down in his robe, carrying a fresh electric blanket to replace the hot water bottle. "We've got a long road," he said, kissing Anna's forehead. "But they're fighters." 2 days later, the formula arrived. Sock puppets on his hands, Josh excitedly tried feeding Stripe. "It's like we've got 4 new babies," he told his mother, giggling. Lucy held Smokey close and cooed as though he were her newborn doll. The whole household had rearranged their lives around these tiny creatures. On the 4th day, Anna noticed Hazel's breathing seemed faster than her siblings. Concerned, she bundled Hazel in a towel and made a mid-morning trip to the local vet. The clinic's fluorescent lights reflected off Hazel's pleading eyes as the vet listened to her lungs. "She's very underweight and slightly dehydrated," the vet explained. "We'll give her fluids and keep her here overnight. The rest look healthy, but Hazel needs round-the-clock care." Anna's chest tightened. "Thank you," she whispered. "Will you call me as soon as you know anything?" That night, Anna barely slept. She imagined Hazel alone in the cold clinic kennel. At dawn, her phone rang. She bolted upright. "It's good news," the vet said. "Hazel's responded well. She's eating on her own now, and her breathing is stronger. We'll keep her until she gains just a bit more weight." "But she's gonna be fine." Relief washed over Anna like a warm wave. She called the kids at the breakfast table to share the news. Hazel's second chance was secured. Over the next 2 weeks, the kittens flourished. Stripe learned to chase toys, his tail held high. Smokey purred relentlessly when Lucy stroked his head. And Hazel, fragile no more, grew so plump that Anna joked she'd need a new formula jug just for her. Even Snowflake found her white coat, untangled and glossy again. The family transformed their sunroom into a kitten wonderland. Tunnels and cat trees sprouted across the floor. A small litter box station sat in the corner. The kittens tumbled and wrestled, brimming with energy. The Thatchers tracked every milestone. First steps on unsteady legs, first self-grooming, first time using the box unaided. One Saturday afternoon, as the sun painted the room golden, the doorbell rang. Across the street, Mrs. Reynolds, an elderly neighbor, waved from her porch. She carried a wicker basket lined with a soft blanket. "I heard you have some new additions," she called, smiling through misty eyes. "I'd love to foster one. I've always wanted a cat, but Max, my husband, has allergies. I could try an older kitten." Lucy's face fell. She loved them all. Josh's shoulders slumped. Mark exchanged a look with Anna, but Mrs. Reynolds knelt down. Hazel climbed out of the box, pouncing on the blanket in the basket. Mrs. Reynolds laughed. "She loves it already," she whispered. Anna knelt too, watching Hazel knead the blanket with tiny paws. Hazel looked back at Anna as though torn between two families, but her purring said it all. "Maybe Hazel needs a quieter home," Anna said, "and Max's allergies improve when the cat is smaller. We'll bring her over tomorrow if you still want her." Tears glistened in Mrs. Reynolds' eyes. "I'd be honored," she said. That evening, the kittens snuggled together on the sunlit floor. Hazel's spot in the wicker basket was empty, but she lay curled on Mrs. Reynolds' lap instead, purring like a motorboat. The rest gambled around Anna's feet. On the day of Hazel's adoption, the kids waved goodbye as she disappeared into the neighbor's car. Hazel pressed her nose against the window one last time, then settled into Mrs. Reynolds' waiting arms. Lucy blew her a kiss. Hazel blinked once and purred, as though to say, "I'm okay now." With Hazel gone, the house felt quieter, but Anna reminded the kids that each kitten needed their forever home. Over the next month, Stripe went to a young couple who'd lost their senior cat and wanted a playful companion. Smokey found a home with a family whose dog had recently passed, so he'd have companionship of another sort. Snowflake stayed behind as the Thatchers' own family cat. A pale, mischievous queen who ruled the sunroom by day and curled in Anna's lap at night. Every adoption came with tearful goodbyes and photo updates. Each time the door closed behind a kitten, Anna reminded herself and the children that they'd saved 4 lives, each destined for a loving home of their own. 6 months later, on a crisp spring afternoon, the Thatchers gathered in the yard for a barbecue. Snowflake lounged by the garden gate, elegantly surveying her domain. Hazel, from next door, padded over for a quick visit, her fur gleaming. Stripe and his new family came by, then Smokey and his owners. All 4 kittens, now thriving cats, reunited to chase streaming ribbons and bat at dancing butterflies. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Anna sipped her tea and watched her children laugh among the cats. "We did it," she said softly to Mark. He wrapped an arm around her. "You did it," he corrected. You heard those whimpers in the night. Anna smiled, thinking back to that first frantic plea for help. In every desperate mule, she'd heard hope, and in every small life tended, she'd seen what a family could accomplish when it refused to turn away. Beneath that porch, 4 abandoned kittens had found their way to safety, to soft beds, to homes of their own. And in nursing them back to health, the Thatchers had discovered the greatest gift of all: how big hearts can grow in the smallest of creatures.